Welcome to the second episode of the Indoencers Podcast. Our guest today is a graduate of A.R. Rahman's music school, the KMMC Conservatory, and his first original composition, Adiye Kutti Devadhe, took the Tamil music community by storm after it was released by Think Music India. Furthermore, less than 24 hours before the recording of this podcast, he released Thalapathy Raid, a song commemorating actor Vijay, which is already closing in on 100,000 views on YouTube. At the tender age of 19, his talent has already caught the eyes of short film directors who have brought him in to score the background music for their films. To talk about his latest hit singles, his experiences at the KM Music Conservatory, and lots more, I am joined by the teenage sensation, Edwin Louis. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, it's my pleasure, Nishad. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Let's just start general. These are some crazy, unprecedented times with COVID-19 and all of the lockdown and all that. How has your life changed due to the lockdown?
No, that doesn't make any change at all, to be honest. We music producers, we are already in quarantine. So we usually don't come out. We are like total introverts. We usually stay, inside, isolated all the time, doing all the best we can to come out of a certain, factor. Yeah, I think it was pretty good. I wanted to utilize this time like every other musician does. So that is how it happened. And this is such a nice time to release because everybody are like inside, locked up. So this is the best time.
That's for sure. I try to do this on every podcast that I conduct, and we take it right back to your childhood. And so I've read that you were born to two musicians. Both of your parents are musicians, if I'm correct. Can you just briefly explain?
I know that my dad is a musician. Yes. I'll.
Yeah, can you just briefly explain what exactly they do within music?
My dad is a musician, basically, not mother.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
She's into audio business.
Okay.
So my dad used to play the keyboard in all the programs. It's been 10 years, I think. He left that field, and he totally, doing independent works. He's teaching music for so much of kids right now. To so much of fun. I mean, this fundraising companies and all the orphan kids. So that is how it influenced me over a period of time, because he's a classical musician and I learned Western. So that is the weird thing. I never learned anything from my dad, actually, because they say there is some saying, but I don't know how it fits in for me. For that I learned piano, actually, from my fourth grade. I used to tell my parents that I want to become a great singer like Justin Bieber, because he influenced me a lot. Because of him only, I took guitar. I totally self-learned everything. So I loved singing. And then they found something, and they never, discouraged me. They always encouraged me to explore more in music, because they love music. We literally grow each and every single minute of our lifetime listening to music of the great legends like Raja sir, Raja sir, Rahman sir, and so many genius from all around the world. So it was like music. And yes, because while growing up, they decided that I'm going to become a music composer. So they never restrained me. They never did anything. The only thing they did, like, constantly, was supporting me to become more and more good in the field. And eventually, while I was finishing up my piano classes. When I was coming out like 2017, 18, they bought me a computer and a nice MIDI keyboard. Then I started to produce music. And when I was doing my 11th grade, I did that song. That was my first composition, Adiye Kutti Devadhe. And after that, after 12th, parents say, what course are you going to study? And other parents are like, engineer or a doctor or something like that, Indian parents does that. So my parents, no, they never did it. They was like, no, you don't need to study. Why are you wasting your time? Please go do films instead of wasting your 3 years of life. So they joined me to KM, and it was such a memorable experience in KM Music Conservatory. I did my audio engineering course, and I finished it this year. Is while I was doing my audio engineering course, uh, at the beginning, there was an assessment which was 1 week, one song, given by my professor, Mr. Prem Kumar. So he told me that 40 weeks, 40 songs. So each week he'll give one topic, and you have to compose the music. So my first week song was the topic was love. So eventually I was doing that song. So I kind of improvised that song and I showed it to him, and he was like, "Edwin, this is something amazing. You need to work on the song a little bit. This is amazing. Commercially, it will be a huge record." So I was like, "What? What's happening?" And then I was shocked because I don't know what did he say. Like I was thoroughly stunned, and I went home, and whatever he told me, it was like constantly I was listening to his words. His words were whispering in my ears, and then I was like, "Mom, my professor told me this," and he was like, "Okay, yeah, it's a good song." And I sent some demos, and from somebody, Think Music reached me, and they called me. Okay, because I have no zero experience because I was like an 18 or 17-year-old kid, and I'm going to Think Music's office. I actually went to Think Music office before that for an internship, not Think Music office exactly. It was SPS Cinemas office, so they are tied up. So SPS Cinemas. So I went there, and I was talking to so many of them, and I was the youngest one. And they were like, "What are you going to do? What are you going to do for the intern?" I was like, "I wanted to do something related to music business or something." "Okay, why are you choosing music business on this young age?" I told them I'm a musician. I'm doing music. "Okay, then show me your tunes." They said, and then I showed them my tunes. They were like, people are, they covered me up totally, like total strangers. I'm an innocent child, locked up around in center, and all are staring at me, and I was like, no idea. I was totally scared, and it scared the hell out of me. And the other day, I got a call from Think Music's office saying the VP, the vice president of Think Music, wants to see you. His name is Santosh Kumar, and he was like, "Hi, Edwin. People are saying that you did a nice music. Can you show it to me once? I want to listen to it." And I was like, "Okay, sure, sir. I'll show you." And I showed him. I showed him the song Adiye Kutti Devadhe. After finishing, he just said one thing. He stood up and he told me, "Welcome to Think Music family," without any hesitation.
Wow, that's incredible.
And that was an amazing feeling, for a lifetime. Nothing can now change it. That is how it happened. And it's been a year since I signed up Think Music. Yeah, I think everything is coming up in the right place right now. And I have to talk about the lyric video too, Nishad, because this is something. This is a total handmade video, the lyric video. Nobody tried this ever before in India, because it is totally done by Mr. Robin. So he drew everything, handmade, and then it got converted into animation. So whatever you see on the lyric video, it was totally a piece of work done by an individual.
Oh, wow.
So it felt so great. And Think Music took a lot of time doing this thing, Nishad. I felt really proud. That was a proud moment. Seeing my name, at the top of Think Music's logo and Edwin Louis musical. That is such a blessing. So more than me, I should say my parents are so freaking proud. And yes, I will make them proud.
Yeah, that's brilliant
That is my.
to hear your story. Let's
Thank you.
take it bit by bit, because I want to get more in depth into your time at KM and your singles as well. But let's just take it back to the
Mm,
beginning. Um, so you said your father was a classical artist, classical keyboardist.
yes.
So was he a session artist, I'm guessing?
No, not a session
Oh,
artist exactly. He used to play on all kinds of normal, usual programs, festivals, and all. Not a session keyboardist exactly.
so would you go to his performances when you were younger?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Uh,
What are your
you know
memories of
the
seeing him
the
perform?
suitcase of. I used to sleep on this. There's a massive keyboard box.
Mm.
Which he used to take and go to every concert of his. And while he was playing, I used to sleep on that, lock it up. That was beautiful memories, and there is so much. And while he was playing, I used to pour water on him, and I used to, turn off and on all the
Oh.
knobs on the speaker. Yeah, there is so much, Nishad.
Mm.
Uh, so beautiful.
In the music I've heard of yours, so far,
Mm,
there seems to be
mm,
influences from many different genres, from pop to orchestral
mm,
music to Indian classical
mm,
to hip hop.
mm.
So, what genres of music were you listening to when you were younger? Did you try and expose yourself to as much as possible?
No, while I was younger, I never had the maturity to listen to a proper music, because while I was growing up only, I realized that music is different,
Mm.
and we have to explore. So while I was younger, I had no boundaries. I had no, flavors or tastes, any particular about music. I used to listen English, Western a lot more than Tamil. And before learning, classical ragas.
Mm.
But the time when I learned classical music, everything flipped up to totally flipped up, because it changed the whole dimension. It changed my whole perspective about music. So that's when I started listening to Tamil songs even more. So as a musician, you spoke about the taste in genres and music. As a music producer, I need to explore each and every single genres in the world, because it is good to keep us really fresh and strong in what we are doing right now. So in that way, I think it's good to explore more and more and more every day. Yes, I'm doing it already.
Yeah, so you said you started playing the piano in your fourth standard, if I'm correct?
Yes,
Was that Western classical?
yes, it was totally
Wha-
Western. It was piano. I did my till my sixth grade piano.
Mm. Is there any reason you stopped after that?
Yes, board exams, 10th standard, and I
Mm.
couldn't sit and play peacefully, because there was so much of pressure while I was doing 10th,
Mm.
and then I discontinued because I was totally into production side.
Mm.
And when I stopped going to piano classes, from that time till now, I've never stopped playing piano in my life. So that is the main thing you should really know. So it helped me a lot. You know, the experience which piano playing gives you is totally different.
Yeah, and you said you self-learned the guitar.
I think it was 2010, 10 or 11, when I was 10 or 9 years old. I know this chord A minor in guitar because that's the first chord which every guitarist, plays for the first time in the life. I loved it because the guitar was so huge. There was no small guitar in my house because my dad is a multi instrumentalist. He plays everything. He plays flute, violin, tabla because my house is full of musical instruments. So I had the guitar. The guitar was like pretty long and huge, and I have to play like this because the total body of the guitar is so long. My hands couldn't fit in, and I started learning this A minor after so much of difficulties, and then I think after listening to Never Say Never, I still remember that was the first song which I ever played on guitar. It's by Justin Bieber. Never Say Never. So it's A minor, C minor, G minor, and D major. I remember the chords. And yes, I love that song. And because of the craze of that song, I learned guitar. After a period of time, just 1 month or 1 week, I got the chords and the strumming patterns in a 1 month period. And yes, from the time I started the guitar, and slowly I was doing all the chords and stuff. And yes, that is how it happened.
So were you just learning by playing different songs, basically?
Yes, of course, that's the thing.
Yeah, so you talk a lot about what you're doing at home in terms of music. I'm curious about how involved you were musically at school. Were you part of like any school bands or things like that?
Yes, I have to tell this. That is such a nice question, by the way. School is something just always close to my heart because in my life, no one has ever told me that you have to study or else you will become a failure. You have to work hard. They never told me. Each and every single person whom I met in my lifetime told me that you are going to become a great musician, Edwin. Don't worry. This was the word they always say. There was always positive influence around me in my life. I've always traveled with great people around me, and still I do. So I studied in a Catholic school. I'm a Catholic. So, the Catholic teaches so much of moral values in life. And there is so much of gospel and so much of, song influence, the prayer song influence. So that helped me to, mold more and more in the day-to-day life. And yes, from there only the next league journey started. So the band for each and every musician. Yes, I too had a band, and I used to play the keyboard there. I was the lead the musician. They all are my friends. Because of me, I took challenge. I took the challenge and I taught everyone everything.
Oh, wow.
Guitar, the drummer, the singer, like everyone, everything, and then only we came up. We planned it while we were studying seventh or eighth standard, and then we got it done on the 11th standard.
Wow.
So I influenced everyone. There is so much of beautiful memories which happened in school, and I have to say about my principal. He was such a close friend to me, more than a principal, because he used to love seeing me playing keyboard, and that is all. That is all I can say.
So what sort of music were you playing in your band? Were you playing
uh,
Western
all
or
kind of
Indian?
cinema songs.
Mm.
No, all kind of Tamil film music and Western, of course, and international records.
So you said that you went to a Catholic school. Often in Catholic
Oh,
schools, you find choirs singing church music. Were you
mm,
involved in that side?
mm. Yes, yes, of course. I used to play in and out on everything.
Oh, did you sing as part of the
Mm.
choir or keyboard?
I sang too, and then I turned into the main keyboard player. Yes,
It's
I was a singer once while
mm,
I joined choir, and then while they were seeing me growing beautifully day by day, they put me into the keyboard,
mm.
and I handle everything after that.
Around when did that shift happen from vocal to?
Sixth grade.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sixth grade I joined the choir,
Mm.
school choir, and then like eighth or ninth I used to play one songs, just normal ones on the keyboard. They used to allow me, my senior,
Mm.
and then he gave me the chance to do it for the full time
Oh,
because
wow.
he was doing 12th standard, so there is so much of uh, less time for
Mm.
him because he has to concentrate on his academics.
Right.
So he told me, Edwin, man, after I go, you are there. Please take care of the choir. And he was like, please, as I'm going. And that's how it happened. Everyone is so sweet, adorable, supportive, to be honest.
Yeah, and listening to your music today, one thing that really
Mm,
stands out for me is obviously a music producer, so definitely a production, and
mm,
also your mixing and mastering. I think,
mm,
it really stood out for me listening to your music. And you
mm,
say that you got your first MIDI keyboard in 2017.
mm.
So you are only working with the technological side of music for 3 years. So you learned it all in 3 years. Wow, that's incredible.
Actually, I know music since, music composing since 15 or 16, just
Mm.
1 or 2 years lesser than that. But wholeheartedly, I started doing it on 2017, 2000, not 2017, actually 2016.
Oh, okay.
I had this dog called Cubase
Yeah.
7. So that's the dog which I started doing it. And slowly, no, sorry, actually, I started on Ableton. And after a point of time, it was quite difficult for me to use it
Mm.
because I have no idea what to do with it. And it has a pretty difficult sequencer
Mm.
because you have to do it from here till here. So usually the music will be like left to right,
Yeah, yeah.
and you have to do it from like right to left. It was quite difficult for me because I had no idea how to compose music. And after that, I came to Cubase, and Cubase, man, it helped me a lot. I love Cubase. I love Steinberg. So that is how I started learning, and I love sound basically, and I admire the quality of mixes from all the great musicians. I like the sounding of so many music directors. I can pinpoint and tell you whatever the best songs which I've ever listened. I mean, mixing wise. So I had this the keen listening to that type of mixes, and my sound sense was pretty stronger. It's different from others. My perspective of listening to music on the sound basis is different, and on the music basis it's different. So that carries out two different parts. So mix wise and music wise. Yes, I always I practiced a lot, and it influenced me. The love for the music which I have is it's huge. Nothing can measure it. That's all I can say because I love music. It's amazing. That's a beautiful feeling. So that passion each and every single day drives me to learn more, achieve more. And after joining KM, the whole perspective changed. But because we were live using all the gears and equipments, and my professor taught me so many things, Mr. Prem Kumar. And yeah, I always had the better steps to approach mixes music So shortcuts, everything. So yeah, that is how it all went.
You said you have a couple of favorite songs that have particularly terrific mixes. Can you give us a few examples?
Yes, of course. I will listen to 24K Magic by Bruno Mars. I would say that song is the mix of the century because everything you hear, a man called Bruno Mars did it with just his beautiful sense of music, musicianship. Each and every bit of sound, he did it. He did it himself, but it was programmed by someone else. But still, he recorded everything. But although while mixing the song, it was pretty difficult. I think the song has around 20 or 22 tracks. I have the session file because I used to practice a lot of the mixing part. So the kick, the snare, the placement of all the toms, and the synth, beautiful retro synths. Oh my god, it's gluing perfectly, and the Vox box. Oh my god, it is stunning. So many people who will watch this will have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm sure. But it's awesome. You should listen to it
Yeah, definitely.
because I don't want to talk about it, even more. But it's a song, and Tyrell Williams "Happy."
Mm.
It is a simple song, but yet a beautiful mix. Everything will be crystal clear, crisp. The high ends will be like so beautiful, and the mix engineer added so much of compression, but you won't even feel that there is a compression on vocal and the other instrument. And the way he treated the electric piano track was so beautiful, and the vocal arrangement, the harmony section was so beautiful. And I have to talk about uh, Tamil musicians, of course. I love Harsh Jayaraj sir.
Mm.
His sounding is totally, man, no way. I think no one in India does the quality mix of what he did before, because he was the crystal clear analog man,
Mm.
because his sound was pure analog. His mixing was crystal clear. You can hear everything, and the beauty is there'll be so much of external factors more than music, the effects, the fills, which makes it more interesting, even more interesting. When you start listening to that in a music producer's track, you will enjoy it more. You will want more. So in that way, Harris sir and Rahman sir, he's a unique. He's just amazing. More than his music, he himself is a good sound man. Because while the music industry was changing over a period of time, he was there. He was there to uh, he was there with everybody. He worked with all the greatest living legends right now. So he knows how to handle stuff, and he was good with electronics. He was good with computers, so he knows how digital sound works, how electronic works. So his music is totally different. His sounds, it is like everything will be perfect. There is no need to do anything. Whatever you give him the deadline, even if the tomorrow is the film's launch, even today if the song is not ready, he won't give the audio out. That is the discipline which he has on the his music till now. This happens today night. They give the final output to the cube, and tomorrow is the movie's release. So that is how he does this, because he had this. He always had this, intentionally. I don't know how he has such a discipline, such a divinity over his work. Such a godly person he is. So yes, so much of things, Nishad. Not only this, like music influenced me a lot. I realized it soon, very soon. So I think I'm I'm 19, so there is a lot of things to learn. And right now, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I will learn more.
And yeah, as you just mentioned, you joined SIR's KM Conservatory. Um,
Yes.
I'm wondering, did you ever consider going abroad to like Berkeley or Juilliard or somewhere like that?
Yes, I was planning to go to Berkeley. Everything was set up. Uh, I was about to go, and due to the financial crisis in my family, which we couldn't, do anything about it, because everybody, we once in a life we come out of that phase. I was like, okay, chill. That's not the problem, because my parents struggled a lot to make me a musician. So in return, I thought like I have to repay them very very soon. So I told them like, no, I think pretty much fixed up here. I'll do my colleges in Raman's game. Please get me the admissions done. I'll do it here. No worries, ma. Let's see. Even I saw this interview of Rahman sir in Berklee College of Music while he was receiving the doctorate, honorary doctorate in music. He said he got the opportunity to do study in Berkeley.
Yeah.
He got everything, the admissions, everything sorted up. So, in one hand, he asked the Berkeley College's admission and everything right up, and on the other hand, he asked Roja
Yeah.
from Mani Ratnam sir, but he chose Roja all the time. So yes, so eventually everything happened, and he received the award after 25 years of his hard work without even studying there. That is such a blessing. So it inspired me a lot. So I joined KM because I'm a huge fan of Rahman sir and the quality of education they provide for a musician. And yes, the KM Music Conservatory is a dream.
What would a typical day at KM Conservatory look like for you? What sort of classes did you have?
As I told you at the beginning of the interview, I was an introvert, but I'm a talkative. But I talk a lot, but I don't gossip. I talk a lot, bluntly about music and about nothing. And because when I went there, people are like staring at me like something. I'm a different person. And then I realized that I'm the youngest kid there, because in my college everyone is super seniors to me. One is like 24, one is like 26, 28, 35, and you won't believe a 55-year-old man even came and stood up on the first bench. I was like shocked. Acha, I'm a backbencher. Let me go at the back and sit peacefully. And I went to the back and I sat peacefully. And we had amazing IMAX on classes, a better Wi-Fi connection than my home. So I used to put the headphones and I browse something. That's all. It was beautiful, but on a typical day, it would be like normal. Everything you hear is music. Everything you breathe is music. That is KM Music Conservatory is all about.
I noticed that Adiye Kutti Devadhe was mixed at AM Studios, which is
Yes,
Rahman's studio. So during your time
yes.
at KM, were you given opportunities to go and see Rahman's studio?
No, not like that. But we can go. Actually, as a KM student, we have the permission to go to AM
Oh,
Studios to explore, to see what are all they doing. But no one really does it. But it is totally commercial. The track is totally commercial. It was done by Think Music. We can go and mix wherever we want, and that is how we approached Mr. Fayaz. He's the manager of AM Studios. He was once manager for Rahman sir, and he's the manager of AIMS. He's managing everything. So my mom is close to him. So that is how we got connected, and that's how I mixed my song.
what distinguishes AM Studios from other studios? I'm curious, what exactly makes it special?
First of all, the legacy which they maintain and the quality of output which comes out from AIM Studios. The world knows because that studio got him to Oscar, and the whole Tamil music film industry once they were living on AIM Studios, and now they are big people and they have their own studio with all the mixing and mastering facilities. So in a way, I would say that place is such a divine a blessing for growing budding artists like me. So I think look at AIM Studios like that, like a stepping stone to another life. So that is how I prefer AIM because it is close to my heart. The quality of output which AIM provided to the Tamil film industry, it is intensive. It is more like uplifting the whole Tamil music industry, the quality of music which we provide. Because Rahman sir, that person gave us the name, the Tamil music industry. Because of him, the world knows now. He's from Chennai. He's from India. That identity. So in a way, I think about all of this. So that is how I chose AIM.
Yeah, and while at KM Music Conservatory, you also interned at SPI Cinemas. Um, I, I'm
Yes.
I'm wondering, you're a budding music producer at this point. Why did you spend
Mm.
your time here instead of maybe working alongside professional musicians at a studio or something like
Yes, as I told you, I was a total introvert. I never even spoke to a professional musician before. But still, now I do, but
that?
before that, because I was so young, my perspective on the outer world it is very different. I can go and watch a cricket or a football match in a stadium, whistling and clapping. But that is not the case here.
Mm.
This is your profession. We don't know what can happen. So I had the fear. I had the fear. பயங்கரமா, I mean, as in like fully. I don't even open my mouth when I talk to musician because all I will be like, I'll be sweating right there because I always had a keen quality of observing a lot. So I observe a lot rather than talking when it comes to my profession. I don't open my mouth. I just close it up. So that is why I chose internship because my college was like weekly thrice came music came audio engineering weekly thrice. In the college timing was like 2 to 3 hours only maximum. So that's the duration, and that too in evening. So it would be very comfortable for me to spend the night musician life. So I sleep peacefully by morning 6 o'clock. So in a way that was a big advantage for me. Um, and yeah, so weekly thrice I had classes. So the other days I was totally free. I didn't do anything. So I thought like, chalo, let's go to some place and do some intern rather than sitting and doing the same music. We have to because I had a small fear because what if this doesn't work at all? What if I become like uh, every other doomed musician? So that's why I chose to do the intern. But SPI cinemas was not in my option. My neighbor girl was working on SPI cinemas, so she took me in. So she introduced me to so many good people on SPI cinemas, and they spoke to me like so warmly. I got a warm welcome there, and they was like, Edwin, what are you doing? What's your age? What are you studying? Are you a musician? Yeah, I compose music. Oh, very good, very good. Show me tunes, and that is how we got connected. And see, God was watching everything. And yes, that was the right time when I decided to go for the intern. And finally, I turned out to be Think Music's artist. That is such a blessing, I would say.
Yeah, so during this internship at SPI Cinemas, you played Adiye Kutti Devadhe to the people
Mm,
there, which eventually gave you the path to
mm,
Think Music.
mm.
I'm wondering, when
Yes.
you played the song to the people at SPI
Mm.
Cinemas, how developed was it? Had you already programmed the arrangements, or was it just a raw melody? How much of the song had you completed at that point?
Yes, actually, the only good thing I learned is to program everything, even the live instruments. So I programmed the guitar, but after signing Think Music, I recorded the live guitars. So before that, it was a programmed guitar. So nobody ever told that it was programmed. That is how I do music. No one can ever guess what is programmed and what is live. So that is where I stand. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty great about that. Some people tell me that the strings were so beautiful. Who played the strings? No. Actually, 40, 30 musicians played live. I won't be paid them. No, it was a plug-in. I won't reveal. So that is how I did an SPS cinemas too. And they was like they never opened about anything. They never said it was programmed or never like they always give the neutral feedback. And but the only thing is nobody gave bad comments. I mean, discourage, nothing, no bad vibes at all. Everyone looked at me straight on my face. It was like shocked, very shocked, because I was too short and all were like so tall. Uh, all are sitting and so much of girls, and I hate girl crowds because I'm so weak. Uh, and yeah, it clicked. I got into Think Music the very next day. Somebody told, and I have to talk about my mom too. My mom played a major role in my life, telling so much of people that my son is doing music because she was handling a record label. She was owning a record label in 2012. So that is how I started, learning few music business stuff from her. She has a lot of influence. Uh, she is a very good friend of every the big uh, audio distribution label or a record label companies, president and vice president like Universal Music, Think Music, Sony, and T Series, Lahiri. So many Aditya Music. There is so much of record labels in India. She knows everybody. The one thing which I don't want to do is I always wanted to grow on my own, without my mother's influence. But the thing is, when I told that SPI people that I'm going to compose music, they put me into someone and think music. When he reviewed my song, he said, "This is good, but you need to do more. This one song can't be enough. You have to grow more. There are so much of corrections on the song." And I was like, "Okay, yes, sir. There is so much of corrections needs to be done." And I came because I felt a little bad on that day because I wasn't satisfied at all after meeting one person from Think Music. And I went to my mom. I was like, literally, I had tears. Mom, everybody liked it, but I met with someone on Think Music. They said I have to do more because just 1 week, one song, you have 40 weeks more. And can you do 40 songs? He asked me. And I told my mom too, Ma, he's asking this. No worries, Kana. No worries. They'll call you. You don't need to worry. And my mom was totally silent, and I was totally silent. And my name, Edwin Louis, uh, the name was, they were talking. about my name, and the vice president of Think Music, Mr. Santosh Kumar. He's someone who's very close to my mom. Literally, my mom raised him. So he was like, Edwin Louis, I heard this name. I know this name very well. Then suddenly he called up mom. Ma'am, did Edwin come to Think Music office yesterday? Mom was like, yes, Santosh, I think Edwin wants to do intern with SPS Cinemas. No, no, no. Did he come to Think Music? Did someone from Think Music listen to his song? Yes, yes, Santosh. Please tell him to meet me today before evening. That was the word
Wow.
he said. I went there because my mom used to send all my works, short film or any kind of works to him, and I have all of good well wishes. So I went there and okay, he was like, okay, Edwin, I want to listen to your song. I don't want to talk about anything else. So the first word he told me was, your mom shouldn't interfere with any of this. You have to do it on your own. Like, okay, that's what I did yesterday. And yes, I showed them my song. They were so surprised, and I showed them so many songs too. After meeting up with Think Music regularly on regular basis, I showed them so many songs. They were so shocked. Such a beautiful feeling, as I told you before. Still, the visuals are running in my head.
I want to ask you, as we talk about the song, I want to ask you one specific question, and it's
Mm,
it's something I wrote
mm,
about when I
mm,
briefly wrote about your song on my website. Um,
mm,
the song as a
mm,
whole is in E minor, if I'm not mistaken, and it's
mm,
a popish melody. But then in
mm,
your second
mm,
interlude, you turn
mm.
it into a semi-classical feel, and you shift it
Yes.
to E major as well. Like that blew my mind. Can you explain that? What was your thinking behind that?
No, yes, it is. Actually, I have to tell you the backstory about the song. I 11th standard, while I was home tutored. So my master, he was a music addict too. He was a music. So he showed me the lyrics of the song. So and he was like, Edwin, look at these lyrics. Can you do something with this? And I told him, yeah, I can give it a try. And it took just 10 minutes to finish the whole song. I finished the whole song in just 10 minutes. But with the basic chords, but I got the tune. I got the pallavi of the tune of the song, and it got stuck in my head. And okay, after the end of the class, I went to my room and I started doing basic steps. And after coming up with the basement, I decided to go with a beautiful raga called Aberi.
Mm.
So which can change a note while going on the ascending. A will come,
Right, right, right.
and while coming descending, C sharp will come. So we can use both A minor and A major as well, and so many accidental chords.
Right, right.
So we can come up with a beautiful chord arrangement with it. So yes, that helps me a lot. I mean, when you use raga, you have nothing to worry about. You can just do sit relaxedly, and I mean, you can do whatever you want with it.
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit because sometimes you see with songs, you see like reprise versions or some sort of extension. And these songs will often be in a slightly different genre to the original. So if you had to do a reprise for Adiye Kutti Devadhe, how would you go about it?
Mm. Total vocal and guitar, acoustic guitar alone, and nothing else. If I do a reprise version, it would be with just an acoustic guitar. And I love someone, and I want him to play this song very badly. I love Keba Jeremiah because I'm a huge
Mm.
fan of Keba. He's a great guitarist, and I want him to play this song. So I'll sit actually right next to him, and I'll do the vocals. And I want him to play the guitar for this song. I want to
So
perform unplugged, and I would call it a price version.
Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe that could be a next release. Well,
Maybe.
well, I want to talk about what actually was your next release, which actually released yesterday. Today's Friday, the day we're recording.
Yes.
Um, on Thursday night,
Mm,
5 p.m. Indian time, Thalapathy Raid came out, a song
mm,
commemorating actor Vijay's
mm,
46th birthday. This single, in your words, is inspired by Vati Raid from Master.
mm,
What about Vati Raid
mhm,
appealed to you, and why did you want to make a song
mm.
inspired by it?
No, everyone get inspired, from a lot of things. While I was listening to Vati, right, the groove did something to me because uh, I've always wanted to collaborate with an artist, and that to my favorite people from Malaysia called Vikran and Karnan. They are huge actors in Malaysia, Malaysian Tamil film industry. So I know them since 2014. So we always wanted to collab on something, and they were like, "Yes, can we do a rap song?" Uh, because they are rappers basically, and I was like, "Okay, Anna, I'll see what fits, and I'll tell you." No, we have to do something related to master. Please do something, Edwin. Like, okay, uh, Acha, give me some time. I'll think about it and tell you. And I started listening to this Swati Rai without no intention. I mean, I had no intention of doing it. I was listening to the groove. I felt like, what if I composed that song? I mean, what if I did a total different Vati Ride? So that is how it started. I changed the whole arrangement style. I uh, I just kept the theme and the feel of the song as it is, and I changed the whole style of sounding. So, and usually there is something about rap music. You never give tunes to rap because rap is nothing about tune. It is only about poetry, emotion. But I gave the tunes for rap too. So the only thing they did was write the lyrics and fit it up to the tune. And there was so much of correction going on in between. And after a point of time, it totally, I changed. That Vati Rai song, totally inspired me to do a different thing rather than, doing a remix or that sort of thing. I wanted to retain the feel, just keep it as it is and do a better new one without any resemblance so that people would enjoy like it is coming on a big screen. So, and the vibe carried me away totally. The love which I have for Thalapathy Vijay sir it is amazing. No words. So the vibe, I thought myself of doing a film for Thalapathy, and that's how I did that song. So what if this song is coming on a theatrical feel? So how fans will reciprocate with the song? So that feel carried away totally. That's a huge vibe, and that is how I did the whole track. So it took a lot. I took a lot of time because I worked on 6 different type of drops for the song. Yes, the session was 127 plus. That was
Oh, wow.
the maximum which I've ever done in my lifetime. Even on a movie RR, because I've never done a 127. Because the only thing I do in my music is I always wanted to keep it very simple as it is. Because the more number of track counts, it will be quite difficult to quite difficult for you to mix the song.
Mm.
So I think of every perspective on how it should be. While I compose music, I mix it up. I sort everything right up. So and that is and the last part only I enter into mixing. So there won't be any difficulties while mixing. So 127, it actually nearly killed me while doing because my ears burst out and I was like shouting like hell. I don't know what to do with life. I was cursing me. 127 tracks, what to do, how to clean up this muddy mix. And yeah, slowly, it took a lot of time. Just daily 10, 15 minutes, I sit up on the mix. Just 10 to 15 minutes. If you spend more time than that, the whole song would change. You will change the song. So that shouldn't happen. That means you are in danger. So that is how I did it. And those guys were so sweet. I would call them like my brothers. Uh, they were so patient. They are so busy actually with their own schedule on Malaysia, but they took a lot of time doing this too. And the thing is, uh, if at all they were not in Malaysia, we could have recorded it here, so it would be easy. So they are in Malaysia. They have their own home studio. They record the files there. We WhatsApp all the conversation of the song related to song on WhatsApp. We video call, we chat. So that is how uh, it it went on. So it took a lot of time to do it. They gave like I would say 140 to 50 tracks of takes, so much. So I felt this was not good. I told them this is not working. Please send me another set of lyrics. So after a long struggle, we fixed going with this one.
Yeah, 127 tracks is quite incredible. Yeah, you're hitting Jacob Collier levels there. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love Jacob Collier. He's such an inspiration, man. He's amazing. He's a genius.
Yeah.
No way, there's no way I can match him. I
Yeah,
love his
he,
music,
he
by
he
the way.
does, I think, like 500,
The
600
harmony
tracks.
arrangement.
Yeah. Yeah, so
He's,
as you mentioned, you used a similar backing beat in Thalapathy Raid as with Vati Raid. I'm wondering, was it difficult to make sure you didn't like almost copy it? Because the backing beat, at least for the opening, is mostly
mm,
the same, as you
mm,
said. So
mm,
was it
mm, mm,
difficult to make sure
mm.
you made it original?
No, actually, it was a sample pack by Cymatics. That snare.
Okay.
It is a sample pack. So I converted that slice into a contact, and then I have my own sampler on Cubase 10 Pro. We have our own inbuilt sampler. So that is how I did that snare. So I wanted to retain that snare. So I was like, I know this sound. I know this sound pretty well because each and every day I download something because I'm a huge plugin freak. I have around 20 TB of musical
Oh,
plugins.
wow.
So I know where, when, and how. Anything. If it strikes me a little bit, then that's all. I'll dive deep into it, and I'll find whatever it is. I'll find. So it was done on Mission, I think. The original song it was done on Native Instruments Mission sample plugins. So I got that the kind of snare which I was expecting on the cymatics. So I used it, and while listening to it like on a repeat mode basis, and I felt I should never change it at all. It is good as it is. So I started working on the other things like the tune and the flow of music and the kick. So yeah, that is how I started feeling it was good to keep it as it is.
Yeah, and this track is unique, compared to some of your other tracks because you collaborated with other artists. For example,
Mm,
in Adiye Kutti Devadhe,
mm,
it's at least vocally, it's
mm,
it's your solo, and many of your covers, apart from
mm,
Maya, is you going
mm.
solo with your vocal.
Oh,
um, are future
it
collaborations
was a
with
surprise.
other artists something we can expect from you in your future
Mm.
works?
Of course, the only thing is we are in so much of plans are going on right now. I for the till next year, I wanted to concentrate more on this independent field. Yes, I have a very good friends, set of people who are totally talented singers. musicians. Yes, I would love to collab. I'm waiting for the right opportunity. It is not that I don't want to collab or something. I'm just waiting for the right time, because if we are collaborating, it should benefit both of us career, not only me. If the music doesn't work, the singer or whomever we are collaborating with, they might fade away. So we have to be very careful on what we are giving them. So we have to involve them on the right time for the right song. So I think it will take a little time. I have a lot of songs which I'm ready to collab. I'm just waiting for a good time. We have to make a good music video. Plans are going on. At this point of time, I'm in Chennai right now, so I think you would have heard the news. It is pretty nasty here
Yeah.
in Chennai. I would say for the next till November or October, I think we can go out as per the government says. I don't know what's going to happen, but whatever it is, I think the making wise, a song will be finished thoroughly within whenever I start. I would finish it on just 1 week or a day or two maybe. But the video part would be like next year. So a track should be, it should be on a good standard. So I usually expect the best quality, the cinematic output. So whatever it is, I take a lot of time preparing. So the marketing of the music is there. So we have to look on that too. So yes, so it will take a lot of time.
Yeah, so as we talk about the future, what are you looking to release over the next few weeks and months?
Yes, I have so many plans right now. Uh, this is getting noticed elsewhere. I don't want to reveal it. I'll tell you soon. Uh, it is going pretty well. I got a lot of love from Thalapathy fans club in Tamil Nadu. Today, I think it's 3:11 now. Around 6:05, the total Tamil Nadu Thalapathy fans club is going to promote my music video,
Oh, wow.
because they reached me yesterday saying the song is it is amazing. So I was like so shocked right away, and I heard some other news too. I won't reveal it now.
Oh, okay. I'm excited.
Yes, yes. So it is happening. Uh, yes, a lot of things will happen soon, and my future projects. Yes, I think I'm 19 right now. Uh, for this Adiye Kutti Devadhe, I got a lot of reception. I got only positive comments. There was not even a single negative comments. Everybody liked the song. Maybe that is they liked it too much or what, but they never disliked it. But it never felt bad for them while listening to that song. So at this younger age, I think I feel really proud about myself, being the youngest kid growing on this field. So I would say I will take each and every single step very carefully. So I think people should know me very well now. Now I think it is starting. People should know. Everyone should know who's Edwin Louis, what he's doing, what he has done. So I think that does matter a lot to me. And yes, slowly I will grow for sure.
Yeah, and part of your repertoire, which I haven't quite gotten in depth into, but you've scored for a number of short films. And if I'm anybody to say
Yes.
so, I've really liked your background score, particularly for Siyavan. The background
Oh.
score was really cool.
Wow.
But do you want to make the step to mainstream movies?
Yes, short films was a stepping stone to the next big films. So while doing a lot of short films, I learned how to handle cues, how to handle the emotion properly, and to explore more in terms of emotional values, which can be helpful to the music to step up a little bit on the scene. So yeah, in a way that helped me a lot. Over I think 2 to 2 years, I think. Yeah. when I started doing short films. It helped me a lot. And I have to tell you, one of my school friends, my best friend, he did the short films. First till the last film, I did 3 films with him. And from 8th standard, we were like a crew. And he was like, when I do a film, you will be the music director.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay. So that is how our friendship got closer. So he's my best friend. His name is Hari Raj, and he's the director of that film. He has a different kind of sense to his music, the tone and the tender of the sound. He tells me that he only wants the sound, this particular kind of sound, and no other elements. So that is how I go with. So that is how he influenced me a lot. He was the one who actually, he's a very big fan of Hans Zimmer, and he only made me a freak about Hans Zimmer. So when I started listening to Hans Zimmer, I was like, oh, okay, he's someone. Oh my goodness, because he's doing rock orchestral music, the cinematic, the theme called cinematic, the term which he himself brought to the whole musical world. Because the trailer of Dark Knight Rises, the whole world got stunned. What kind of a music is this? He was the one who introduced the hybrid trailer music. So after learning a lot about him, oh my God, it inspired me a lot to do more background scores. And I would say he's my one and only inspiration in background music. And Tamil film has certain value of emotions. Our industry works a little bit different. So we have to learn a few formulas on how to do it for an Indian film. It is different here. The emotional levels and everything is different. So I learned that, and I'm still learning. In a way, that is how short films help me to grow more and more in film. And I'm expecting to do a good film with all this experience, a good feature film very soon.
Yeah, that's great. It's been a real pleasure talking with you. I want to end with one
Of
last
course, Nishad.
question. I want to end with one last question,
Yes,
which I will ask on every podcast. What's on your playlist right now?
my playlist right now. It's I would say it's Gungru, right? If I'm not wrong, from War. Yeah, from War, I think. Um, that song and Kun Faya Kun, of course.
Mm.
That is the song. I listen to Kun Faya Kun like 100 times a day because I love that song. It
Yeah, I
takes
think
me somewhere
everybody
else.
does.
So whenever I feel depressed or something, I just sit peacefully, off all the lights in my room, and I will listen to that song 1,000 times. It will make me good more and more.
Just one last thing,
Yes,
because you mentioned Kun Faya Kun and you went to KM where there's a Sufi department, were you ever involved with
of course.
the Sufi group?
No, I never involved in it because I wanted to pursue audience hearing. So I used to stare at the people who sing in Kavali room. There's a Kavali room on the entrance itself of the KM. There's a dome, a private dome for with all the carpets and the tabela, and you have to enter room. There is some few restrictions. You have to wear white and white, and because the Kavali is basically a spiritual music, Sufism. So when there is a launch on the entrance, so I sit there and I watch all of them. I've cried several times listening to their voices. They pray. Sometimes they record videos. Sometimes they do the dua. It is such a beautiful feeling. There is nothing called religion in music. Music is always universal, and that is the only thing I felt. I really felt proud that I'm in the right place at the right time. I think music is taking me somewhere else day by day. I'm getting more addictive. Uh, even more every day, day by day. I'm learning new things, and yes, in a way, it helps me a lot. I usually listen to a lot of spiritual music. Most importantly, Rahman's music.
Yeah, and on that note, talking about the love of music, which is why I started this podcast
Mm.
myself, I think we'll finish this episode there. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you to the listeners for tuning in. Make sure to go and check out Edwin's music
Oh.
and his social media in the description below. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Nishant.
Well, that was Edwin Louis on our second episode of the Indoencers Podcast. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in. You can find us at The Indoencers, spelled THEINDOENCERS, on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or you can use the links in the description. Likewise, you can find our homepage at theindoencers.wordpress.com or through the link in the description. Make sure to subscribe to the Indoencers Podcast on your favorite podcasting platform. Thank you so much once again, and we'll see you next time.